Well, hello, people. Here we are back again with Dance Jams. Today we have a special edition because we have Mr. Massimo Giorgianni in our show. I am very stoked about it. You know, I have admired him for a very long time. He doesn't know that. That sounds a little bit awkward, but very back at the beginning when Mr. Massimo was an amateur dancer and I met him in Alphen aan de Rijn. And we'll talk about all these things later. But first, of course, I'm going to ask if my good friend Ton is online. Ton, are you there?
Yeah, Sean, happy to see you and to hear you.
Good.
Welcome in the podcast.
Yes, you know, we have a special guest today. Are you excited about it?
Yeah, absolutely. That's one of my favorite dancers.
All right, so don't embarrass him yet, but I think he's waiting. So let me do a little introduction for the viewers and the listeners to Mr. Massimo, so they can see us. To my account, I think Massimo Giorgiani. He lives in Italy. We'll ask him specifically where. But he is 8 times world champion in ballroom dancing. We explain ballroom dancing a little bit for the people who are not ballroom dancers and listen to our podcast. He is a writer of 2 books, and he has a final book on body and communication. He is, of course, with his longtime partner and wife, Alessia. He's working on a performance system to improve coaching. He's organizer of one of the biggest dance competitions. It's called Danceasfire Championship. It's an international competition and it's open to the whole world. And why that's important, we'll ask him that too. He is, let's not forget, he's a father of 3 children and he is, of course, passionate about dance and personal growth. So, without further ado, Ton, let's ask Mr. Massimo in the show. Are you there from Italy?
Hello,
Good
Gene,
to
hello, Tom, hello, all dance gyms.
Yeah, that's James. Yes, yeah. Thank you for having you
Games.
with us in the
That
show.
is the Italian. That is the Italian version.
The Italian version, yes. Okay, well, we apologize for all our pronunciations. Ton and I are both Dutch, so we probably screw up some Italian words too, and so it's okay
Me
if you
too.
if you
So
if you
we
do
are
the
in
same.
free.
Yes. All right, let's get started. Ton.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Sean. Yes. What you want to say, Sean?
I just want to say, just let's start a little bit with the easy stuff, right? Where are you calling from, Massimo? What place? Italy is a large country. It's a big country.
Yeah. I am at the moment in Vigevano, is the city where I born. Vigevano is 30 minutes from Milano. Is a very popular city for shoes. In
For
fact,
shoes,
many big brand shoes. Yes,
yeah, cool,
many big brand came actually, not so much now, came here in Vigevano to learn how to make handmade shoes.
nice, nice. Who does not
And
like Italian shoes?
yes. And my father, because my father is from south of Italy, and when he was around 18, 19, he came up here in Vigevano and start to work with shoes. And this is why I born here because he met my mother here and all family we grow here.
All right, and you always stayed there.
Yes, I mean, that's difficult to say stay because you know how the dancers travel around the world. But
That's true.
yes, somehow I born here and now I'm actually still here.
Amazing, amazing. All right, Ton,
Yeah,
you have any
yeah.
questions? Let's start to talk about why we have this interview.
Yes, very interesting. You wrote 2 books. I on your website also dance as a personal growth, and I see a studio in Hong Kong and a studio in Vigavano. That this is where you are now at the moment. So, what is this with Hong Kong then?
This is a project of with our system that we create, the perform system. We actually can work also with studios, because somehow it's all about how to make people act at their best. So, you can apply, this stuff you can apply to people, and people are everywhere, are also in studios. So we have project also with studios, a part of, couple or single person. This is why you see this two studio where we normally, actually there is also one in Roma where we work actually quite often.
Okay, cool. Is that one of your favorite places to work in Hong Kong? I mean, I've been quite a
I
few
I,
times to Hong
I
Kong.
love
Yeah,
yeah, I love Asia.
yeah,
You know, generally, I just love Asia. There is
yeah.
something in Asia that
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, make me feel very good. It's quite, I can't describe exactly why, but every time, for example, now next week I have to fly to Japan. I just
Yeah.
feel, of course, a little bit sad for the family, but
Mm-hmm.
in another side, I feel
Excited.
exciting.
Yeah.
I like
Is it
the
the?
people are,
Mm-hmm.
and Hong Kong is part of it. I have a lot of friends there. And normally I go there 3 4 times a year. So I feel somehow I go there to work, but I feel very very comfortable. A
Yeah.
part
And you
of the
go,
place, I feel very comfortable with the people.
yes, and you go in different studios then there in Hong Kong?
In Hong Kong, no, at the moment I go in one studio.
In
I
one
decide to
studio.
go in one studio, yeah. So the people will come there.
So there is a different,
In the past, I used to go in different studio. Then I decide to, concentrate in one, and other people will come there.
so definitely you will feel the difference between Hong Kong and Japan in the culture wise and in adapting your information there. Is there a change for you in the countries, in the culture
Oh,
wise?
definitely. And this is the interesting part, Ton, about, because they are different, and I feel I have to adapt to them in order to get the message clear to them. So, and these are, I think, what I love about traveling, because it gives me the possibility to adapt myself to them. So find a new strategy, new way to make them understand what I want.
Yes,
But there is a big difference. There is a
yes.
big difference.
I feel also the difference when I'm in China, Japan, Mongolia, Hong Kong. It's different
Okay.
cultures, but also different terminology and different understanding how you understand dancing. So,
Yeah.
can you tell something about that one, about your method and they can, how they digested your information there? Because language is quite important.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Language is important, but when you work personally with people, somehow there is also other channel that I find very important, and there is the physical part, and somehow also energetic part. And one of the reasons why I like Asia, because I find Asian people, in my perception, are much more quieter, and they give me this feeling of quietness, and somehow the lesson also get better because there is this quiet energy. And about the difference in in communication to them, with some people I feel I'm more verbal. With some people I find, a part of the country, but some people they need that you push them physically. And these are, the big difference actually is in that by work with the people, in the end of the day, what is important is that you see the result of what you have in mind, and you find a way to make them do it. And sometimes you have to explain, sometimes you have to physically make do it, sometimes you know you actually make so much question that they actually answer you till they understand what you want.
Cool. So basically,
Yeah.
what you say, you try to adapt your method to the audience that you have, whether it's in Japan or whether it's in Europe. Um, so
Exactly,
yeah,
exactly.
yeah. I mean
Country,
that
but also because not in every country people are the same. Otherwise, it would be too
exactly.
much
Hmm.
generalization.
Yeah,
But then I find interesting to find the people that you are in front,
yeah,
and
yeah,
and I adapt because normally I am a pusher, and with some people actually doesn't work.
yeah. Well,
So I
you
actually have to come down too.
Yeah. Well, I like that because one of the things that you wrote me in your bio is that you constantly look for a different and better way to perform coaching, right? So give me a little bit the definition of the word coaching, right? Because it's used now everywhere. Everyone calls himself a coach. What is in your definition
Okay.
a coach?
Yes. I will not go with the definition that is on Google, uh, because I think everybody knows that.
Yeah.
But for me, coaching is take care of uh, of a person that want to be coach.
Yeah.
If, for example, we take dancers, coaching for me means go back home and think about them, what will be the best for them in more aspect. So let's see the career of a dancers in more family. When I teach, that for me is different. I give my best, my heart in the time that they book for me. When I am coaching, it will go more 360-degree.
Cool. What
This
about
Yes.
is
you,
the
So
Simon?
difference.
you coach also when you are there, of course, and on a competition, but also when they would phone you or write a message to you.
What do you mean,
So
Tom?
they ask something from you, and they have some problems with the training. Then you could say, okay, you can book a lesson, but you can give them also advice, like
For
do
sure,
this.
for sure.
Yeah, yeah, yes, yes, yes. So they could reach you then
Yes, yeah, for
also.
sure. But I divide a little bit in my way of work, because there is so many people, and some people spend more time with you. So there is this relationship that get closer, more important.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and some people, you see one time say here. So
Mhm.
it's not different the lessons during the lesson, but it's different the approach of after the lesson for me in relationship to the people that decide to be coached from me.
Yeah.
Teaching and coaching for me is quite different.
Yeah. I like that. Yeah, I like that. I mean, it's a personal opinion, but I think people mix it often. Also students, right? You make a good distinction between teaching, you know, giving
Yes,
information, and coaching
yes,
personally someone to their own abilities and goals. That's what I hear.
yes.
I
Because
like
yeah,
that.
correct.
Hmm.
Exactly, exactly. When you coach, you go more deep in the all general dancer. So it's not just physical. Somehow, you give advice. You never decide. I never decide for people, but you give advice in relationship to my experience
Hmm.
about their career, their competition, they should do, how they should practice, communication with the partner. There is more aspect that I touch
Yeah.
when I coach.
Yeah. Yeah, another good thing, Massimo, and listeners might miss it, but this is for us, Ton and me, always a very important thing. You advise at best, and you never take decisions for them. So we often hear hear other people say you have to do this, you have to do that. You don't have to do anything. We say we want to help you to make choices and give people a richer ability to make choices. And that's what I hear you say. Beautiful. Ton,
I
anything to
agree.
add to
I
that?
agree.
Because that's your philosophy.
Totally. I never say what I do, never in my lesson, never. Because one word, what I would say, could change the whole thoughts of when I would say, do this. So I give them options. And when I have options, then they have to choose. And when they can choose, this makes it mostly difficult for them. They come to a certain core of them, what they really are and what they want to be. And this is the magic. There are not so many people, what I know. I come on many training camps, and the most of the teachers make them a follower instead of a creator.
Yes. Yeah. Wow. Here there is so many stuff to talk about. Is absolutely. I agree with both. And when you said about word, the word actually, I think can make people fly, but can also, destroy people somehow.
Yes.
Words, and even worse, the way they say words. So
Yes, absolutely. My daughter sent a few videos of improvisation because she danced in the National Ballet and she's now for 1 week in London for a company there. And she sent me some videos, improvisation, and said, "Papa, what do you think about it?" Okay, I said not a lot about it. I say I love it because I know already when I would say one word, then somebody would think about it and could maybe change the direction. So I not want to influence it. So the art, what somebody's produced, it's just the opinion from somebody.
yes, yes, and the real target, I think, I guess, and this is a little bit what I try also to do with my kids, because
Mhm.
somehow I coach my kids,
Yes,
and
Of
this
yes,
is
yes.
course.
is actually very interesting and journey I did as a father. But in the end, I think give them the responsibility to choose
Yes.
and to make mistake, support them in the mistake. This I think a coach have to be, or a parents is be there when they need somehow,
Yes.
when they're a little bit, I'm sorry for the when they are in bad situation, just they need, if they need help, I'm there. But I believe that people need to go in problem.
Yeah, you
They
grow through
need
your
to get
problems.
they
Yeah.
need to get problem. They need to get bad result in dancing. They need to be they need to be in shit. I'm sorry for the words.
No,
in,
no,
in
that's
order in
yeah.
order to get out of it, in order to get out of it,
Y-
because that is the way you uh, get responsible. When you get out of it, you actually become a better human, a better dancer. You believe more in yourself. You increase your self-esteem. This is the,
Yeah.
for my opinion, there is many theory, but I believe this is the best theory to get the experience. And to get the experience, you need to somehow, to get out of your comfortable, to risk, to make mistake and stand up again
Yeah.
and try
Yeah.
again.
Yeah, definitely. I often say to students, you need to be really good at sucking things. Be really good and being, because that makes you grow. Yeah, if you
Yes,
avoid
yes.
failure, you won't grow. That's, I mean, it's a common saying, but I'm not sure if everyone lives is there to, because it needs, you need to have some guts. But yeah, it's an interesting thing,
Yes.
Massimo. We all three have kids at different ages. Mine are now college students, and yeah,
Wow.
the coaching changes as they grow up.
Exactly.
My daughter start to coach me now too.
It's vice versa now.
Yeah, yes, 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 yes.
Wow, that's nice. They doing
Cool.
sport? They do any sport? Your
Actually,
kids?
not none of them. None of them. The interview is not about me, but no, no, both of them are not interested in dance. Strange as that is,
Okay, okay.
not at all.
My two.
They are football
They are
players, I think,
very,
eh?
yeah, yes, they are
Yes.
free now. Two are very seriously doing football, and one is now at the moment is in the gym period,
Okay.
and they also play some instrument, but also by following them, especially the two one that doing football, by following them is very interesting. In the journey in the car, how is how somehow the coaching start already before the game, and it's very interesting, and then depend of the game how it goes, and then in the way back, you have to repair the stuff that doesn't go well.
That doesn't go
Yeah.
well.
Yes.
But it shines a little bit through your coaching as well, because we see, as long time coaches in the ballroom dancing, we see sometimes that kids try to live the dream of their parents instead of their own dreams and goals. And you, as a top coach in dancing, you might expect that your kids would follow you, and if they want, that's great. But if they don't, apparently that's good for you as well.
We actually decide that we didn't want, and the reason was because I don't know if it's right or wrong, but I always imagine that if they enter in this world, the dancing world, somehow they have to prove something to us, and that for me was something that I didn't like.
Yeah.
And so this is why, I tell you a story that is quite interesting. When we did the show, after 10 years, I think maybe more, we didn't I didn't dance with Alessia because we have kids, already we have all three kids. And they asked to do some shows, and honestly was, I think, 10, 11 years I never really touched Alessia in dancing, because we were so busy. We all grow the kids and the studios, blah blah, travel. So anyway, we decided to do this free show that then would end in 9 show. And when my first son first see the show, he never saw us live.
No?
So
Wow.
never live, never dance. So after the show, I go there and he was cry. He couldn't breathe, because keeping crying. So I said, what's happened, Leonardo? Why are you crying like this? And he said to me, Papa, please don't do this anymore. So I said to him, I was so bad. I was so bad that he didn't like. But it was very interesting. He said to me, after when he come down in the night, I said to him, why you was upset? And he said to me, Papa, I couldn't recognize you and Mama at all. To see you on the floor for me was like, you're not anymore my father, and
Oh,
she's not my mother. So that is quite interesting actually.
it
So
is.
just to let you know how we really try to divide our life
Yeah.
somehow from their life.
And let them choose, make their own choices and mistakes. And we talked about that.
Exactly,
Great.
exactly.
Cool.
Yes, I have some questions also, other questions. I was on your website. I see a lot of webinars and also probably online training, couples or dancers that can book also lessons with you. You work mainly with ballroom dancers or also with the other kind of dancers?
I work mainly their ballroom. I work also with Latin dancers. I work actually that I love. I think is my. I love smooth. For me, is a great style. I just love it. And to teach, it gives me so much satisfaction. And
Yes,
so then, no, I don't just do ballroom. I do also other style. And
yes,
maybe there is now when I go in Japan, there is also a chance that I will do some work also with a baseball team. So this is
Ah,
very exciting. I'm very excited and a little bit nervous because it's a new word for me. So no, I don't just do ballroom. I'm open for all, and actually I'm open to understand and try different kind of words. So to see if I can help other kind of people.
yes, yes. And on your webinars, then there are mainly then ballroom dancers, then, or all kinds of people who do the art form of dance.
When I no when we do training, and now we stop a little bit. Our work is fire because we did for many years. Then we hold on. There is so many now. At the moment, we see around the world that we hold on a little bit. We will do one in England, but it will be very short. It will be more like a practice guide before the competition. So the target of this 3 hour together will be more, of course, for them practice, but give some guide what is important to focus on the day of competition,
Okay.
somehow to help them for that day. And then, let them try in the night,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
Y-
put the
Yes,
experience directly there.
Apply it.
Because,
Yeah.
sometime, yeah, and I know you experience that, me too. Sometime, before the competition, dancer have so many information that I find that they go in the competition and in reality they don't really execute, they don't really perform. They're actually thinking about what they have to do, all the knowledge they have in their brain. And so this
and
three
that's
hour
yeah.
together will be to, you know, let go.
Yeah, so that they can enjoy the competition more, less or more.
Correct. To be,
Yeah, yeah,
to be present
In
really,
the
to
competition.
be there and have the experience, and give their best at any level. Because
yeah,
sometimes sometimes I find that some people are really good, but then the moment that for me is the most important moment is when you have to
Perform.
act, you have to do in it,
You have to
you have
perform.
to
Yeah.
perform it, and then you know that you're not able to really give your best because of some interfere. And sometimes interfere is internally and sometimes interfere can be externally, but they are still interfere. So in these 2 days in England, we will do this kind of work. But generally, the perform system, the system we create, is to think at the dancers as much as possible of every family that they need to work for, in the end, perform at their best.
yeah,
That is the study we put together, myself and Alessia.
yeah. And Massimo, I see you wrote a book like Dancing Beyond the Physical. So it's more
Yes,
probably a mental book for mental training, or what kind of book is it actually?
I have it here.
Yes. Ah, perfect. Can you hold it again that
Yeah.
I can
Hold it.
see it?
Hold again.
That was very fast.
Yeah. We'll place it. We'll place it also in the show notes of the podcast. So for everyone who's
Yeah,
interested,
dancing beyond the
or
physicality.
yeah.
Sorry,
No. No. Go
sorry,
ahead. Go
Jim.
ahead.
No, no, go ahead, because I wanted actually to know what kind of book is it and what dancers can do with it, and teach. And I have more questions, but first these questions.
Yeah. So the reason why I was thinking about this title, Behind Physicality, because now I don't remember exactly when I wrote, but it's already more than 10 years, maybe. And the reason was, especially at the time, that dancing was see just physical, just very technical, so there was no other kind of knowledge or stimulation to make the dancers understand more about himself. As when I stopped competing, I start already before, but was not so deep. But when I stop, I start to make a lot of study and research. So this book is part of the research I did. And behind physicality, because there is so much behind physicality, behind your body, that actually support your body, is connected to your body. And I just now see the table of content. You know, understanding the needs. There is a one chapter that is about the needs of human being. I find that when I studied that, for me it was like, wow, I want to go back competing. Because I could understand so many things in good way, but also in bad way, that I could use.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
about another chapter is about beliefs. Wow, what a
Chapter 3, yes,
what a
I see it.
yeah,
I
what
see.
what a
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
And then how important is the third one is the state of mind. Now, if we talk about any performer, that because performer for me, the way I want to see in future for the perform system is not just for dancers, is for everybody. There is a moment when you need to do something. If you are a waiter, if you are a presenter, if you are a dancer, if you are anything, you are a teacher, you are a manager. There is a moment you have to do something, and the state of mind you are in that moment is extremely important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In
Absolutely.
Is that
order,
yeah.
Mm.
Yes. Is
in,
that
in
also the
order,
state of body then? When the state of mind, is that also the state of body?
yes, for sure, because it's all connected, really, Tom. But to change state of mind, in the end of the day, you have to, the faster way is actually to move physically. So if you
Yeah.
have bad mood, the first things I do this with my father now very often, actually, because he's getting older. I lost, unfortunately, my mom in July, and he's get very depressive at the moment. And I can see in his, as you said, I can see in his body, in his expression, that he's sad. So I just was there this morning. I massage him, I talk to him, I make him move, and this actually change. It changes mood.
Yeah, for sure.
It
So that
changes
Yeah.
mood. And sometimes, if you don't know this stuff, you have somehow you are in this state of block, because of if you are talking about competition, because of result, because of teachers, because of parents, because of the money student invest, and they are worried to don't use it at their best. There are so many stuff in their brain. And this, of course, will destroy the performance. So
good.
if and destroy their state.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
if you have tools, to help this situation, will very powerful, very helpful.
Yeah, I
And
think
then
that.
another
Mm.
one I'm thinking is the power of words you were just talking about. So also there was a chapter about words, how impact people. And then there is many, like it's already on you, partnering, passion. This is
Yeah.
the title of our
Yeah.
how important is to have passion. And you know is all aspect that I thought in that time I did it, that are not physical, but in the
Beyond.
end of the day they are.
They become physical, right?
Yes,
But the
correct.
book is about, when I picked it up, it's about 8, 9 years old. I mean, maybe 10 years already. Massimo,
Yeah.
I still believe that the dance sport as a whole is pretty young if it comes to this type of coaching. In other sports, that is way more integrated. I am a martial artist when I grew up, and it's very easy,
Wow.
right? You go into the ring. If you don't do it, they beat you up. So they put you in that state automatically. Dancing is still very young, and it's excluded to a few coaches like you, Tom. Maybe, in all modesty, myself. We hear other people talk,
of
but
course.
it's not really integrated in dance thinking to add that layer of why is that? Why is that, Massimo, that we still it's still a little bit of a foreign concept to do mental coaching or beyond the physicality, which I love. Why does it take so long time for us to grow into that?
Yeah, I guess is I'm thinking about more me. Yeah, I think is in the end is passion for growth,
Hmm.
passion to know, passion to discover.
Hmm.
How a human or a dancers can achieve their best. And maybe it's not in the dancing culture to go beyond the the technical part, physical part. That it is very important, of course.
Of course.
You can't dance without that. Is extremely
Yeah.
important.
Yeah.
But why is difficult? Difficult to say. I find maybe it's not curiosity. There's no enough curiosity, to know more.
What could we do as coaches
And
to change that? Well, you do it,
yes,
of course.
I think this. I think if people will listen to this podcast, is already the idea that you had is brilliant because will allow people to know idea of other people and maybe they are there will be influence from it. I always say to the my student, I keep say them, you have to read. Reading in my life, in my experience, it was unbelievable. And and for me, so surprised because when I go to school, I remember when I was a kid, I hate school. I completely hate school. I remember the feeling in the morning, wake up to go to school, and I remember that my state of mind was so bad. I didn't want to go. And you know what? I realized after so many years that it was not my fault, really. It was my teacher fault.
Yes, yes, absolutely, because that is the environment where you grow up, and you cannot change what is behind, but you can change now the future and the now where you are in. So, which advice you would give from dancing beyond the physicality to the listeners? What they could do with it? So they can, of course, read it, but what they can learn from it when they read it.
I think read is the first, of course, step. Second step is to go deeper. So
Mhm.
to understand it, go deeper means you have to work on it because otherwise if you read it you have some knowledge, you have some words in your brain, some idea, but if this idea not become a daily act, or if I don't know how to change situation, then knowledge. I remember I heard this sentence, knowledge is power, but somehow I don't believe it. I think when you do the knowledge, then you become powerful.
Yeah, knowledge in itself is nothing if you don't do
No,
Is
anything
a
no.
with it.
step.
It's a step.
Yes,
Is a
It's
it's
a
step.
a
step.
Is a step.
yes. I say to the students, if the head not understand, the body cannot do it one way.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's vice versa also. If
Yeah.
both you need. So and in my book I
Yeah.
have one sentence from this book: from reading you will not learn dancing.
From reading by
Yes. Yes.
itself. Yeah.
Yeah, by reading
Yes.
by itself. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. And then because we are all different and we are in different, if I look at student, sometimes they are different and they are different also in levels. And sometimes some student I have a feeling that I want to tell them, stop for 6 months and read, grow, and back again then. And some people I wanna say, shut up, move your body, move your ass for 6 months
Yeah.
because they are too mental. but in the end, in the end, I think the ultimate uh, um, way to grow is, is to feed your mind, to feed your body, to feed your sensation, your emotion, because this is what we are. This is what we are. And
Yeah.
if we give tools to grow all this free channel, you know,
Mhm.
we just become better.
So after 10 years, you wrote now a second book then. Could you tell something about it? And have you some information about it?
Again, sorry, Antonio, I didn't hear
So
you
you
very
you
well.
have wrote the first book, Dancing Beyond the
Yes,
Physicality. Now I heard
yes,
from you, you have a second book. So it will be a premiere now this year or next year. Um, so you have it
yes.
already on the market, or and can you
No,
tell
it's
something
not on
about
the
it?
market.
Yeah.
Yes, it's not on the market. Is at the moment they are busy in put the last pictures and I don't know how do you say it in English when you have to
The
put all
design,
together.
The
Yeah,
layout.
yes,
lay out the
the layout.
design,
Bravo,
lay out
Tom, the
and the
layout.
design. Yeah, cool. So
And
when
the,
will it be published, Massimo?
I
When?
hope, for the end of the year.
Cool.
I hope.
Can you tell something about it, or is it still a
Yes, yes.
secret?
No, no, no. I mean, there is no secret. The reason, I do this. I do books for two reasons. First of all, is to, and this is really first of all, is to organize my mess. Because for me, writing, for me, writing is a way to order myself because I'm very curious. I like to know. I like to write when during I finish the lesson. I'm writing blah blah, and I have writing everywhere. So writing a book for me is to put all together. So it give me an organization. Second, of course, is to spread the message and around the world. And when I say around the world, because in my second, actually, it's the third, I'm sorry, because the second book is very small and is a pocket book, I call it, because is the 7 step to practice. We did with Alessia some step that we feel how to make the practice better because in our you know what I'm talking about in the dancing world the practice sometimes can be a difficult moment. So, we created this question how to, how to make it better, what to do to make it better, because
Yeah.
I don't remember my teachers when I was a kid. They teach me how to practice. You understand? You just
Yes.
practice, but then
Yeah.
you don't know how to practice.
Yes.
So in this little book, there is some idea for help dancers. Now about the third one, I will try as an I quite ambition person. I will try to I want to try to maybe uh, give this book for the also normal audience, not just for dancers. And but of course, by using the experience as a dancer. And the title of the book is The Voice of the Body.
Nice. Like it.
Yes,
Beautiful
the voice of
title.
the body.
And
Yes, thank you.
what is the voice of the body then?
The voice of the body is a mix, because uh, when I go, when I go around the world, I go to restaurant, I go to the post, I go, sometimes I have also my study. I find that, and also, experience also with my parents too. My father, my mom was ill for a long time. I find that somehow in the normal life, people don't take care of their body. It's a little bit the opposite of what we do. we take care of the body, but we don't take care of our
Right.
mentality or our emotion. But when I go around the world, I find they don't care about their communication. And when I say communication,
The
is
body.
all
Yeah.
about their body, health, the way they act, the way they move, the way they dress, the way there is everything,
Yeah.
the way
Nice.
they stand in front of you, the expression. For me,
Mm.
expression are, they are so important. One expression, you can kill a person. And sometimes I go to a restaurant, and just the way they walk to me, or they talk to me with their voice and expression, I want to go out.
Yeah, you want to run out. Yeah.
You
Interesting.
know, I just, and for me, this, um, I find that this book can help who is interested in develop his communication.
Yeah. Yeah, I can
And there is a lot of stuff that I learned from dancing, like space, like um, action, like dynamic. There is a lot of stuff, energy. A lot of stuff about uh, how habits are very important. It's all, but of course, translated for an audience that is not a dancer.
Yeah. Well, really beautiful. I'm looking forward to that. Is there a way for audience to already sign up to get a copy when it's there? Is that on your website? Is that do you know?
As soon, because the first will be an ebook,
Okay.
so it will be on the website
On the website.
dancesfire.com.
All right, we'll make sure that the listeners can do that. There are so many. I mean, we're reaching the end point almost of the interview, Massimo, but there are so many overlaps that we all three do. One of the things that I do personally is with the body is actually help to go through trauma, so bad experiences. The body stores
Wow.
trauma, and Ton and I do stuff and that. So there's so many overlaps and intriguing. 45 minutes is way not long enough to talk about
Exact.
what you have to say. Luckily for us, we don't have to ask you a lot of questions because you tell what you need to say. Is there anything we should have asked you for this hopefully first interview? And I would love to do another one with Tom. What is there anything we should have asked you in this interview and we didn't ask?
Wow. Now you get me curious, so I want to search in my brain. Um, First of all, actually, I want to tell you thank you for this invitation. It was very very nice to talk to both of you. I
Yeah,
really had a good time.
you are not on the end still. You can do this later. I have one question.
We're almost at the
And
end, huh?
Uh,
almost at the end.
so
So what
if there is
you
any
would
any question,
yes, I have. What you would so we have the listener here. And when you leave, you are gone. So now you are here. What could you give a dancer as advice to do a general thing from you that's quite important for yourself, what they have to do or not have to do, but where uh, they could help this answer or support them what you want to tell them in their pathway in the future. So what advice you could give dancers? Doesn't matter, young, old, beginner, experienced ones. Do you have advice for them?
um,
I think you said
to
it
use
already in the
dancing,
podcast. Mhm.
I'm sorry,
I think you said it already in the podcast. Try to read,
maybe.
try to develop,
Oh, oh yes,
try
really
to
develop
search.
and become responsible.
Yeah.
I always do a question that I think is referred to what you asked me, and I say sometime to some dancers, I say, the end, in the end of your life, when you will die, And imagine, I know it's a bad imagination, but we are laughing now a little bit. In the end, when you die and you have all these dancers on your funeral, what do you would like that they will tell about you?
Yes. Yes, that's nice.
And I think dancers need to find this question. So I want to tell every dancer that they have to find their own voice in this dancing world. Understand? And of course, you have a lot of people will help you in your journey. They will support you in your journey. But in the end of the day, is your career. You have to find your own voice. And for me, this is very important
Yeah.
that a dancer find that,
Yeah.
find
Absolutely.
that.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's not so obvious. Sometimes
Mm-hmm.
people don't work for this
That's all.
reason.
This
Oh
is why
yeah.
you said responsible. That's a quite
Yes.
important work. Be responsible in everything what you want to express in that form.
And if you give responsibility to the teacher, if you
Mhm.
give responsibility to the judging, if you give responsibility to the organizer, where are you?
Yeah.
And I strongly believe some people, they thinking I am a little bit crazy when I say that because I'm not in this reality. But I strongly believe that if we talk about dancer, if a dancing is really bloody good, you will achieve whatever you want.
Yeah, this is why
A part
dancing
of all,
beyond, yes. This is why
yes,
dancing beyond the physical is some one of these aspects and the other books. So this yeah,
yes, I think so.
incredible.
When before Tony, you ask what they should do, they have to study not just physical stuff. They also have to know more stuff to
More mental,
support the
emotional.
body, exactly, and the technique. But they need to understand more how the mind work, as you said also, Jane, also your emotion, how to get in better emotion, how to communicate better with your partner. Big stuff because you spend so many time with your partner.
Yeah.
You travel together, you practice together, and
Well, I love it. I think,
knowledge,
yeah,
yes,
knowledge. I think Massimo, you take
will make
the
the difference.
yeah, you take the responsibility to develop people's their own voice, let them find their own voice. Ton is doing the same thing. They need to be able, and we like to hear to their voices. We don't need to hear their teachers' voices. That we don't. I don't want to see that. I want to see your voice. So I say sometimes in
Correct.
Latin, yeah, we've seen the defend position 5 million times, but we want to see how Massimo is doing it, not how your teacher told you to do it. That's a little bit
Yes.
what it is about. Yeah.
Yes, I agree. Sometimes most of the stuff that the people remind me after many years, they remember things that at that time some people didn't want that I did, that I do it. You understand? But these are the stuff that sign me. So of course, when you will find your own voice, um, some people will be against.
Of course. Yeah.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. No problem with that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You understand? Exactly. And this is why you have to continue.
Cool. Cool.
Yes, this is find your own voice. This is why it's so important to find that own voice and not the teacher's voice, because otherwise you are look just like a puppet on the floor or like a machine on the floor.
Yeah.
It's what you
Yes.
said, both of you. We
Yeah.
want to see
Yeah.
you on that floor.
Yeah. But as teachers, Tom, and I think you and I talk a lot about it, we also have to understand what is the mechanics and the mental state why students still want to do that. Why is what blocking them from not saying their voice and just saying, hey, tell what you have to tell. We sometimes have to also understand that we as teachers, as a general, sometimes said, you have to do it like this, which we
Ah,
now said
yeah.
we can never do that. And
Correct. Massimo said it already
yes,
in the
he did.
podcast that a previous trainer put you in a sort of corset, and to be what you are, it's the highest goal what you could reach, to be yourself, to be.
Yes, it's a life journey. I'm more clear, but I'm still searching.
Oh yeah, yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
and this is a process that never end. Thanks
Mhm.
God.
Mhm.
Everything is a
Yes, but
process.
how early you reach that, and you can support them with this idea, how more they can enjoy that career or their presentation on that floor, if they once they have it.
Yeah, I think that the big challenge will be for all the dancing world is uh, how to get people or dancers in this case out of or past the process of imitation.
Oh,
Yes.
I love that.
As an
Yeah.
imitation is a very important
Step.
tools for step for learn,
Yeah.
very important because we learn also by that. But there is a moment where people need to get
Go
out of
beyond.
it,
Yeah, go beyond.
beyond.
Go beyond the
Exactly,
imitation. Yeah.
exactly, exactly.
Nice. That would be
And
another nice title of a book. Go beyond. Go beyond imitation. Yeah, I love it.
that's good
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah, I think Tom, that would be a good ending of this. I call it already first interview with Mr. Massimo Giorgiani. It was a pleasure to have you in the show. Thank you so much for
Grazie.
making time in your busy schedule for us. Um, so I'm already saying goodbye to you from this point. Tom, maybe you want to say something from your end too. Uh,
Yes. Thank you, Massimo, that you was here with us. Thanks for your knowledge. Thanks for your wisdom. And yes, I wish you a happy life after this one. Continue with that
Thank
life.
you very much, and congratulations and good luck for this project.
All right. Thank,
Yes.
thank you, Massimo. We'll talk to you
Thank you.
right after the show, hopefully. All
Okay.
right. And we say to our
Okay.
listeners, of course, as always, thank you for being in our show. Today we had Mr. Massimo Giorgiani. Just only to say that he was an 8-time world champion is not enough, and he probably don't think that's the most important thing anyhow. The message was very clear. What he said, bring out your own voice in the world, whether you're a dancer or not a dancer. It doesn't really matter, but that's the most important thing. That's what I got out of it. Ton, I'm going to say goodbye to our listeners and hope that they come back to our next episode of Dance Jams.
Yes. Thank you, Sean. And goodbye, listeners. Until our next podcast. Bye bye.